back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I've been back in Australia for what feels like 8 to 10 months. My wife said today it's been like 4 days. 4 fucking days. It's funny how time works. 7 weeks. Now that feels like a fucking wink. And the last 4 days have felt like, I don't know, a fucking lifetime. It's good being back with the kids though. My daughter's grown up so fucking much. I swear to God, she walks into the room and starts talking. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Where did you come from? Who are you? It makes no sense. And then my son comes in and he's fucking tall now. He's going to be 8 in June. And I'm like, who the fuck are you two? Who are these fucking people? And then I'm staring at my wife and she's been like a little bit sick since we got back. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Who are all these strangers that I'm just fucking stuck with for the rest of my life now? Who are you? Do you ever look at people and just ever think to yourself, I don't even know who the fuck you are? Like it can be a close friend or even family or even like your parents or even like your kids. You're like, who the fuck are you? Do we ever really know anyone? We don't. You're just fucking sort of hoping. You're hoping no one's a cunt. I'm just waiting for the perfect time to spring on my wife and kids that I'll be going to the Himalayas to a Buddhist retreat for the last 20 years of my life, and I probably won't be leaving. I'm not too sure when to tell them that, but all indications are pointing towards complete and utter seclusion and just deep Buddhist and meditation practice. I know I've been saying this for years, but I think it's going to eventually happen. When does your obligation to your wife and kids end? There's got to be a point, doesn't there? Or is it fully forever? Is it fully forever? I mean, the Buddha fucking renounced family. He went out there and sat under a fucking tree for like 6-7 years. Did anyone hassle him about that? I reckon if I went out there and sat under a fucking tree for like 7 years, I'd be arrested and thrown into a fucking mental institution. That's how twisted our society is. A cunt can't just fucking sit under a tree anymore for 7 years. But since I've been back, I've been really just getting into the Buddhist readings, and I've been listening to a lot of the mantras you got to be repeating and all that to clear your negative karma, all this sort of stuff. And I'm just so on board with it. I'm like deep into the Buddhist research, and then I'll be hearing like, Dada, can I have a juice? A juice? I'm like, no. Why? Why? Because we need to save every last cent so Dada can spend the last 20 years of his life in a fucking isolated cave in the Himalayas. All right? I'm ready to renounce everything as well. Sex, desire, family, attachment of any sort. I'm ready. So I've had a few days to like sort of think about the ayahuasca. What happened at the ayahuasca retreat, and there was one period during my final fucking session, the death session, that things got a little bit sketchy. So I went through the death process, which I spoke about in the episode Death, and like I was right at the face, the event horizon of death. I'd been through the whole process. Last thing I needed to do was sort of just let go. And that was a full dying process. Like I had to die. And I just couldn't let go, that final fucking thing. So that happened. And that was as close as I got. Then I got pulled away a little bit. I was still in the process, but I got taken a little bit further back. When I couldn't let go, I got taken further away from death. And then I was like, no, I need to die. I need to die. And then I concentrated and I got close again. I got back up towards the event horizon of death, but not as close as I did the first time. I never got that close again, but I got pretty close and I just couldn't concentrate hard enough. I couldn't let go. And then I got taken further back. And then in my mind, I was like obsessed. I was like, no, I need to finish this death process. And in my mind, I was like, it has to be a full death. And it did. It had to be a full fucking death. You had to die. But after those 2 attempts, and in my mind thinking that I had to die, I was like purging, and I got all confused and shit and a little bit disorientated. And I was like, oh, this purge could be part of the process, and I need to let myself die. And so for a little while there, I was attempting to let myself choke or drown on my own vomit, on my own purging. I was like, this is it. But as insane as that sort of sounds, I was never in any actual danger because your like gag reflex kicks in almost immediately. You can sit there for about 2 seconds with that in your mind. Oh, I need to drown on my own vomit, before you like turn to the side and save yourself. But there definitely was a period there where I was like, this is part of it. Just actually die. So yeah, that was the bit I left out. It probably sounds a little bit worse than it was, although I was lying there trying to die. But realistically, it was never going to happen like that. I'd missed my chance, and that's it. That's it. Now, all I can do is hopefully get 20 years at the back end of life in a fucking cave so I can teach myself how to actually die and then fucking start the whole process again, eh? Anyway, fucking that'll do it for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.